And now, please help me welcome from the Baby Boomer Comedy Show featuring Jan McGinnis and Kent Rader.
Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing? All right, welcome to the Baby Boomer Comedy Show.
Yes, clean comedy for people born before seatbelts, bicycle helmets, and Facebook.
Yeah, so I'd like to introduce my partner in the show. You've heard him on NPR's Look Who's Laughing Now, and he's also the winner of the Branson Comedy Festival, Kent Rader.
Thank you. Thank you. And my partner, you've read about her in the Washington Post as well as the Wall Street Journal, and she's been a writer for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Give it up for Jan McGinnis.
Hey. Oh, we got baby boomers out there? Yeah, we have seen a lot, haven't we? Yeah, we've seen men walk on the moon.
And we've seen women run for president. We've seen the fall of the Soviet Union.
And the rise of China, and we've been scared by both Charles and Marilyn Manson.
We've lived long enough to see smoking become unpopular and tattoos become cool, right? When I was a kid, everybody smoked, but the only person I knew with a tattoo was Popeye.
I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was in one of those natural hot springs. You know, I was wearing my bathing suit, but some guy walked up and asked if he could jump in naked. I said, okay. Then he jumps in and he lights up a cigarette. I know. I said, you know, naked is okay. Cigarette, offensive. Well, women are getting tattoos as well, huh?
Yeah. I was telling Jan this week, I was 36 years old first time I saw a woman with a tattoo. My Uncle Calvin said, well, she was drunk once. Men of our generation, we have classified women as either being a Ginger or a Mary Ann after Gilligan's Island, right? I married a Mary Ann, but some of our baby boomer brothers had trouble deciding.
Yeah, we have a friend, Tony. He started with the Mary Ann, then he traded for a Ginger, then another Ginger, then a third Ginger. I think he finally wound up with a Mary Ann, right? Women, face it, some of y'all were kind of hoping for the professor, right? You know, face it, some of y'all wound up with Gilligan.
My cousin Belinda, she married Mr. Howell. Right, he's rich and old, but the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. And she just treats him awful. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why he would marry her. All I can think is, well, he was drunk once. But tonight we're going to talk about things that baby boomers that we've have in common, things we've done in our life. And one of the cool things about baby boomers is that we continue to try new things throughout our lifetime.
We do, aren't we? We're at the age where we could just try stuff. Yeah, the other night I went to the opera. Yeah, it's the first time in my life I ever thought, man, I wish I was home doing my taxes. Oh, you can tell you're getting older by the concerts you go to, right? Yeah, they're now, instead of the concerts, they're now tribute bands to the groups we wish you'd seen, huh? Yeah, hey, I wish I was going to AC/DC. All right, Bruce Springsteen. So, well, a little bit about myself. I have no kids, but I am an aunt. Yay! Yeah, since my sister has kids, the only gifts she gives me are pictures of them. Yeah, I don't have any kids, so I sent her a picture of me sleeping in on Saturday. My other sister has 2 kids from Romania, as we call them, Olympic hopefuls. My niece came with her own balance beam. So I got my sister a baby gift, too. I got her one of those motorized swings, the Neglectomatic. All right? Put the kid in with some Cheerios, wind it up, release him when he's 18. All right, maybe this is why I don't have kids, right? All right. So I've got 9 nieces and nephews. 5 are adopted from other countries. Has anyone done the adoption thing? It's very hard to do, right? It's not the regular way. You don't drink a bottle of wine, forget to take your pill. A friend of mine has twins, too. People get weird around twins, don't they? Someone actually came up to her and her husband in the park and asked them which one they liked best. And he told her. So no kids for me. I did date somebody who's got teenagers, though. Ooh, lucky me, huh? What do you mean you won custody? You don't win teenagers, right? They're the prize in a lottery. Nobody buy a ticket. So they're not my kids either, so I get to hear all the arguments. Nobody wants to hear my opinion. That's like being on jury duty as an alternate. So I don't know much about kids raising them. I've never had them. I have taken care of a dog for like 15 years. I just apply the same methods. Right, the other day I was babysitting my nephew. He threw a temper tantrum. I didn't know what to do until I remembered, my dog settled down quite a bit once he was neutered. My brother was mad. Guys hate that joke. I got a cat now. I've had my cat for 17 years. I know, I love my cat, but that's a long time, man. How long do they live? Of course, the other day I caught her staring at me, thinking the same thing. People treat their pets like people, don't they, huh? Yeah, I saw a TV show. A woman had a dog with obsessive compulsive disorder. I know, I'm not making this up. The dog has a stick, and he's running around the backyard, and he's burying it, unbury it, bury it, unbury it, all day long with a stick. She finally put the dog on Prozac. Yeah, $75 a month. I'd throw away the stick. Just a thought, right? Oh, I don't know. So I got a dog recently. I'm a cat person. I got a dog about 2 years ago, little 7-year-old Shih Tzu pug mix from the shelter. Yeah, but so far she's not housebroken. I know. So I got some of those blue pea pads, all over the place. Yeah. So far the only one using them is me. It's not what you think. I'm having to step from pad to pad. So I don't know. I don't want to pass on my genes. I think that's the whole thing with the kids. The most prominent feature about my whole family, we all have big feet. You guys can see my shoe size. That is actually a 12 triple A. Thank you for making me feel good here in fluorescent. All right, I'm okay with it now, but it was embarrassing in first grade. One day our class went on a nature hike. The park rangers came across my footprints, closed the park, spent the weekend tracking me. Those tranquilizer darts hurt. Most y'all getting this. A couple y'all taking this way too seriously out there. I don't know. Kids are lucky. They got all sorts of stuff we didn't have growing up, right? They got the No Child Left Behind. We went to school. That was the motto for the school bus driver. And they got the internet, right? They can do their research on. What did we have? They're right. The library Encyclopedia Britannica, right? Your parents bought once. You could only be as smart as your oldest sibling. If you don't get that, you're at the end of the line there, I'm guessing. And there's no challenging things the kids get to do anymore, right? We had, my favorite thing was those traveling carnivals. Remember those little death traps? One day it's the Montgomery Ward parking lot. The next day there's 52 rides all set up by one carny and 24 Budweisers. The guy was drunk by noon, right? Mom's only safety advice, go early. And if we didn't die at the carnival, we pretended to kill ourselves by smoking candy cigarettes, right? Huh? Pop one of those in your mouth, grab your baby doll. Hey, look, I'm just like Mom. Wait, where's my martini? So, I don't know. I decided a long time ago I didn't want to have kids. And I saw my sister's birthing. And I decided you could use a birthing video for later on in life. The kids are acting up. Just sit them down in front of it, run it backwards, scare the heck out of them. We're getting out some ideas here, huh? I've never had a kid. I have experienced parts of childbirth. I've never had an epidural, but I have had my legs now. I flew here in coach. Can't believe my dad survived 4 kids growing up. Every gift we gave Dad was deadly, right? Think about it. We made him ashtrays, gave him cigars, razors, beer mugs. We gave him a radar detector once. Hey, Dad, smoke, drink, drive fast. We love you. Got all our gift ideas from Mom. Caught her staring at them thinking, how long do they live? Now, my parents tried to be overprotective. Whenever one of our pets would die, they'd secretly replace it so we wouldn't get upset. I know, like I'm not going to notice. Before school, I say goodbye to Brownie the hamster. I come home, he's Casper the white lab rat. I never missed a day of school. I saw what happened to you when you stayed home with Mom. The stuff I used to do as a kid. kid too. Like the time I used mom's birth control pills in my science fair project. Now, science people, you might know this. The estrogen in those pills actually makes plants grow. Yeah, I won the science fair that year. I got a new baby sister. Thanks for getting the science stuff. All right. Well, my parents like it because we're all grown up and out of the house. I think that's the best part of the kids, right? They actually got that empty nest syndrome, so they replaced us with cats. You know, cats are just like kids. Whenever they cry, I just lost my train of thought right there. Welcome, come in. We've all shouted out our age and our weight, so just go for it. 200. Perfect. Well, I can't believe my parents survived 4 kids growing up. We were talking about kids. You got kids? Of course you got kids, right? Yeah. We were just talking about that with kids. So I like kids. I was on my class. That's okay. You're all right. So my apologies for having scatterbrain. I must be getting older. You're 94. That's pretty good. Really? Wow. She is. I was going to say you. So you're looking pretty good. You're looking really great for 94, man. She's 100. Where did I lose control of the show? I'm not sure. Come on here. All of a sudden in comes a 94-year-old wannabe comedian. Boom. We were talking about kids. I went to my class reunion recently. I was on the committee. I was in charge of the invitations, so there weren't any cheerleaders there this year. Thank you for getting that. All right. So we baby boomers, we have invented some weird stuff, haven't we? We have done some weird stuff. We invented the 911 emergency dialing system. Yeah, which sounds like a good idea, except we invented 911 at a time when they had rotary dial phones. I wonder how many people we lost waiting on that 9 to roll around. So I like not being out of the house, though. I've got a lot of jobs. At my class reunion, I talk to my friends and everything, and tell them about my jobs. I've got a lot of weird jobs, man. What's the big industry here in fluorescent? Retirement? What? Fluorescent. Okay. That's all right. I'm going to be gone by midnight. I'll be trying to pronounce some other city, so what the heck, right? Fluorescent. All right. It sounds like something you put in your bathroom to make it smell better. I don't know. It's a nice town. That's a good town right here. Well, what is any big industry here? I know you're right next to St. Louis. Is that the Boeing? Oh, really? Okay, that's all right. Because I've had a lot of jobs. My first job in high school, I worked in my uncle's funeral home. Yeah, he didn't pay me, but I got lots of nice clothes and jewelry. I was the only 8th grader, no boyfriend, 14 wedding rings. That was a good job, man. Bozo the Clown died. I got a new pair of shoes. So, well, before comedy, I didn't work at Boeing, but I worked in the corporate market, working my way up the corporate ladder. Last company I worked for was into all those employee motivational things. Y'all heard of this crap? Yeah. Team building, TQM, PMS, LSD, Kumbaya. Team building, if you don't know what it is, I'm good at it, I've done it. Team building means employee empowerment and ownership. Yeah, so I took the copier. I never owned one of these. I was a manager there. I hated being in charge of people, because they're all calling in with excuses you want to use, right? True story. I had an assistant call in once. She said she couldn't come in because she put her clothes on and they burst. That's right, she called in fat. That's not legal, is it, huh? When you manage people, too, you learn a lot of stuff, don't you? Like most relatives die on a Friday. I got rid of her. This is absolutely true. She called in. She quit on voicemail. Yeah, so I faxed her severance check. I was going to mail her a copy. We didn't have a copier. Oh, I don't know. You can tell employers complain. They say they can't find good employees because this is true. 72% of us lie on our resume. Yeah, okay, we'll put lying on our resume when they put lying on the job description. I thought the benefits at my last job were good. So they said we got 20 days off a year. They meant 10 weekends. I don't know. Smokers are the only ones that know what's going on in the whole company anyway, right? Where are my smokers out there? Smokers, yay, right? As you go outside, you take those smoke breaks, you talk to people in other departments, you find out what's going on. Yeah, y'all don't live long enough to tell us anything, but I can always make fun of the smokers, not like they're going to run up here and get me. They might try, but they don't got that kind of lung capacity, right? So I did not like my last boss. She was a control freak. I think everybody in the office should have to wear a mood ring, you know? Yeah, that way you know it's okay to talk to them, right? I caught myself staring at her thinking, how long do they live? She had all this team building thing. Excuses. Jane, you gotta think outside the box. You gotta think outside the box. Yeah, so I left my cubicle. Went to the bar, now I drink outside the box. It does not cost a lot to reward employees, does it? Huh? No, a pat on the back is cheap. Pat anywhere else costs millions. Too soon? I don't know. I think when you're a kid, you decide what you want to do for a living by looking at what your parents do, right? I always thought my dad had a fun job, because every night he came home and celebrated with a bottle of gin. It's okay, he's a pilot. I'm joking, he's a surgeon. I think we had a drink from my last company. Our vending machine had tomato juice, celery, and Tabasco sauce. Office workers are wimps too. Our wrist hurts, we go on disability with carpal tunnel syndrome. My granddad lost his whole arm at the meat packing plant. Never complained, didn't even tell his boss. He also stopped eating Oscar Mayer products. He couldn't even be a greeter. Keep going with this one, I don't care. Oh, I don't know. I read that there are less women in the workforce than men. I think that's because we women warn each other, right, ladies? Yeah, once a year we have that take your daughter to work day. Yeah, show them what happens when you don't marry rich. Because you're so honest, I'd be afraid of what my daughter would say. Mommy, that looks just like our copier. Shut up and grab some toner. I went to college, I was going to be a doctor. Yeah, the closest I ever got, I was a physician's assistant. Well, I was a caddy. Thought the retirees would get that one, huh? Oh, man. So I like my job, so I get to travel and do this. Now, Kent and I travel separately, tour separately for over 20 years, doing shows for corporations and conventions and that sort of thing. We come together a couple times a month to do these baby boomer shows. And we've been in front of all sorts of different audiences, every kind of group you can imagine, Boeing and all those big companies. I did a show for Geico recently, the insurance company. Yeah, that didn't go so well. I'm standing backstage waiting to go on. I squashed this lizard. Turns out that was their opening speaker. I did a show for a women's group. In the morning, they had a program on how to stop trying to change your man. I am not making this up. In the afternoon, they had a shooting clinic. Everybody attended, right? I did a show for a hospital. They were raising money for their children's rooftop play deck. Well, I don't really like kids either, but that's kind of cool. They said they were Massachusetts' largest trauma center. I'm like, no duh. Bet the others don't have a rooftop play deck. And we like these theater shows because they're set up well. People get to, can see us and hear us. These corporate things are fun and everything, but they set them up so weird sometimes. It's really hard to get in the mood for comedy. Twice I've been introduced after they read off the list of people in the organization who died. Thank you. You don't think that's a good idea for comedy? One time they had a really solemn candle lighting ceremony. They lit a candle for everyone who passed away, and then they sent me out. I know, I looked over there and said, we got some candles left. I don't think some of y'all were supposed to be here this week. And then we get a funny look at registration. Bob, is that you? All sorts of weird stuff, man. I did a show for lawyers They said they were doing their community service project. They were doing for free wills for low-income people. I'm like, how hard is that, right? Do you own anything? No. Okay. I think I could do that. I did a show for a group that was about 600-700 people, and it was in a basement of a hotel, and a nice hotel, but they had all these posts right there, and I'm starting like this and trying to get around them, and finally I stopped. I said, I went on to college, so I didn't have to get a job dancing around a pole. I think that was Bowie. I'm not sure. And then it was, I did a show for John Deere, the tractor company. That's a good name for a company, isn't it? Yeah, deer, sleek, fast, runs like a deer. You gotta wonder what the guys over at Caterpillar were thinking. We're cuter than the worm. Everybody's going green. You guys going green here in fluorescent? Fluorescent? Fluorescent. Ooh, all right. I don't know if you're going green, but you're seeing red right now. Fluorescent. Are you going green out here, saving your bottles and cans and stuff? Yeah, they're doing all sorts of weird green things out there. I did a show for car dealers. They're now making gas out of French fry grease. Yeah, which sounds good, but gas, how does that work? You fry the fries, you eat the fries, you dump the grease in the car, and you drive the Weight Watchers and wonder why you're getting fat. We're going to put French fry grease in the cars. You thought the SUVs were big now. Wait till we start feeding them that. Right, you got a kid or a grandkid in college too. This is the latest thing they're doing in colleges. They're going trayless in the cafeteria. No trays. They said it saves on food waste. Yeah, I went to Virginia Tech. We used the trays to sled on. Yeah, I miss those days too, when my rear end could fit on a tray. All right, you don't gotta laugh at that one, right? And the Salvation Army, the biggest recycler on the planet. I was watching the Macy's Day Parade last year, and they actually have a marching band, which is pretty cool, except the band was wearing new uniforms. I know, I'm like, you're the Salvation Army, you should look for some of the crap from the store, right? People march with bell-bottoms and platform shoes, Everybody's carrying a treadmill. And we both speak a lot of healthcare events. They're doing some weird green things. The latest thing, I'm not making stuff, green burials. People are getting buried naked without a casket. I did not know about this until my Uncle Wendell's viewing. They're getting buried naked. I'm thinking, what do the pallbearers hold on to? This is a clean show. All right, you guys. I got time to level the crowd right down here. Oh. Well, I like this job. It's fun and everything. I did telemarketing once. Anyone ever do telemarketing? It's awful, right? This is true. This is what I sold. I sold sides of beef over the telephone. This is not something people buy over the phone, right? People are not sitting around their house going, hey, honey, we're out of beef. Where's that girl call? I lasted 6 hours, which gave me seniority. Nobody lasts 6 hours selling anything over the phone, right? Well, we like to travel and check out different towns. I've been to St. Louis, but never to your town that I'm afraid to say the name of again. You're like, what was that? Up in, South Dakota. I was in Pierre, but I call it Pierre. And boy, did I get yelled at. You could talk to the people in Pierre, South Dakota. No, we traveled to all these towns. We've been doing this 20 years. It's a lot of fun. Check out the town. I actually got in yesterday and did a little shopping in your lovely town. Yeah, I walked into a store and I got attacked by your makeup lady. She asked what kind of makeup remover I used. I said, the pillow. You say stuff like that, they just scatter, right? Of course, I'll give you a free makeup, but they can't do product testing on animals anymore. They got weird clothes out there. Y'all realize these 70s styles are back for men and women? That scares me. You realize when someone is released from prison, they're getting back the same outfit they went in with. Can't tell where my date's been for 30 years. I know, I did that joke in Texas. They're like, we don't release our prisoners. They got stupid stuff in the stores. This big stuff we really need. I found out 3M, the company makes Post-it notes, also makes breast implants. They'd have a really good product that they combine it to, wouldn't they, huh? Something a little ahead of me on this joke, huh? Guys wouldn't have any trouble remembering the chores on your to-do list if you get one of these. Stick one on the fridge with a note. Get milk. I always know where to find you. Well, you know, we started out having no customer service in the stores. Now we've got way too much customer service, right? Every employee in my grocery store in Los Angeles, everyone asks me if they can help me. And if I need to know where something is, they don't point, they take me there. I am 57 years old, I've never been married, and I'm worried the only person who's ever going to offer to walk me down the aisle is the produce manager of Snooks. I get all the way to the self-checkout and leaves. That's what I needed help with, right? I'm not going to get married anyway because I watch forensic files. It's always the spouse, right? It's always for money. I'm waiting for someone to kill him for snoring. At least be a little honest about it, right? So trying new things as I get older, trying new stuff. I bought a motorcycle. Yeah, because that's what happens when you wreck it on the test drive. Craig does not want to put it back on his list. I got new neighbors. I invited them over for a drink. Yeah, and then they came over and told me they don't drink. So basically I invited them over to watch me drink. We had a good time, I think. I was drunk. So I do live in Los Angeles. I don't recognize movie stars and TV stars, though, right? Because there's just too many of them now, right? When we were growing up, there was like 5 TV stars, and we knew who they were, right? We had Raymond Burr, right? He was Perry Mason, yeah. He got tired, he wanted to sit down, he was Ironside. Same script. So, watch the movie. A friend of mine saw Denzel Washington's latest movie. She said he had to actually gain 40 pounds on purpose for the role. 40 pounds. I know, she goes, I don't know if I'd gain weight on purpose even for $1 million, would you? I'm doing it for free now. The older I get, the more weight I gain. My goal now, I just want to get back to the shape I was in when I thought I was out of shape. If I could gain weight and make money, I would become a cash cow. They got all those diet foods, diet sodas, all this stuff's expensive. I'm just waiting for someone to bottle up some water from Mexico. Here, drink this, it'll make you lose weight. Call it Run Fast. I actually went on the Jenny Craig diet program by accident. I was staying with a friend of mine who was on it. That's like all the food she had, those little packets. Yeah, I made myself a snack, wiped out 5 weeks worth of her meals. They should not name diet programs after real people, should they? No, because the person dies, the program goes away. Y'all remember the Atkins diet? Yeah, Robert Atkins, he's dead. You know who's still alive? Ronald McDonald. He looks good too, eating burgers and fries every day. So all these devices too. I got the Fitbit. You guys got the Fitbit? Yeah, woo, 10,000 steps, a little badge pops out. I do 10,000 steps on my chocolate chip cookie to pop out. And I found out how to get the steps in too. As I get older, I wear it at night to and from the bathroom. I got tired of wearing it, I put it on my cat. Fitbit called to see if I was still alive. Every hour I'm sitting still, they buzz me and send me a notice to go get up and go get a snack. I went to a new nutritionist too. She said, Jan, you gotta eat different colored fruits and vegetables, eat the rainbow. You know, so I had a bag of Skittles. I'd have lost a pound, huh? And we tried all these different things to lose weight. I took a trip to Africa last year. It was really fun. It was 20 hours one way in coach. 20 hours one way. And in the seat pocket in front of me, they had a little list of exercises you can do in your seat. I know, like the that's never flown 20 hours in coach, right? The first exercise, bring your knees to your chest. I know, I'm thinking, how do you think I got into the seat? I'm trying to get my knees out of my chest. So, everybody's biking everywhere, too. You got bike paths here? Yeah, man. You know, biking work, everyone doing it back in LA, man. Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, you see a guy on a bike wearing a suit going to work, DUI. Wow, they're out in force these days. Oh, so I tried stuff to lose weight. I tried yoga. I can't do that because I got a birth defect. I was born with a spine. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, I got health insurance. I could break a leg. I got life insurance. I can't die. I know my family thinks that's rude. They're like, "Who's going to pay for your funeral?" I'm like, I don't really care. I'm a comedian. Just charge a cover and a 2-drink minimum. Something tells me I'm going to get rid of the green burials. I got into hiking too. I hiked the national parks. You guys like the national parks? Oh, they're great. I hiked a bunch of them. I hiked one in each trail in each park is my goal. I hiked the Grand Canyon last year, 10 miles down, 10 miles back. It's kind of embarrassing. The park rangers came across my footprints, closed the park, spent the weekend tracking me. And these events and these corporate things, we do a lot of events at nice resorts, which is good, a lot of fun. But they always have a spa. Now, I like a massage and everything, but the spa is making stuff up with food items, right? Have you ever looked at the menu at a spa? There is no research that a lemon sugar body polish is going to make you healthy, right? Well, we'll take it and we'll tell our friends, oh yeah, I just got the paraffin wrap. For an extra $1, they stuck a wick in me. One spa had a milk bath, a seaweed wrap, a raspberry relaxer, vanilla bean dip conditioner. I'm like, I don't have time for all that stuff, man. I just went to Denny's and rolled around a buffet. I tried the milk bath, found I was lactose intolerant. Oh, so we're trying, in LA, they're doing all sorts of plastic surgeries too. This is a weird one. Have you heard of this? Rear end implants. Have you heard of them? Do you have them? If you do, you're coming up here, man. If you're thinking of getting them, they're $5,000. Now, I know, a box of Twinkies is $3. It might take a while, but it'll taste better, right? And ARP Magazine, I read this in ARP Magazine. This is what baby boomers are doing now. We're doing medical tattoos. We are tattooing medical instructions on our chest, like DNR, do not resuscitate, no CPR. Right, so if we're walking down the street and we get sick, the medical people will know what to do. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to tattoo PMSBO. Put my shirt back on! I got to stay in shape. I'm still single. Made all the way to my 50s and I'm still single. Kind of hard to get married when your relationships don't last through the weekend. Usually by Sunday afternoon they get their hands untied and escape. Don't gotta laugh at that, all right. I was engaged once, but I broke it off, the engagement. And now I gotta... Thank you, all right. Now I got a wedding dress hanging in my hall closet, a little bit of pressure on my dates. Last thing I usually hear is the closet door open, the front door slam. So, I don't know, who's been married more than 10 years here? 10 years? By the way, I live in LA, you're going to say 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 20 years? Wow, 40? Wow, you got longevity out here. See, if you want to meet somebody, you got to take up a hobby you enjoy. I like to ski. My friends want me to try something called heli skiing. You guys heard of this? Yeah? Well, it kind of, it's not, there's no hills here, I guess, right? And this is where they take it. This is where they take you to the top of the mountain in a helicopter, drop you off, and you ski down. No trails. Yeah, you could die in an avalanche. My friend said, "Don't worry, there are dogs specially trained to sniff people out buried in the snow." So I'll be the only person skiing with a T-bone strapped to my head. No offense, but I want to be found first. Scariest thing I ever did, last year I went up in a hot air balloon, 2,200 feet up in the air. Actually, the scariest part, as we're climbing in the basket, the guy asked us our weight. I'm not telling him that. I gave him my goal weight. It doesn't matter if you're off by 50, 60 pounds, does it? This thing may crash, but that secret time with me. I almost went skydiving. This is true. I got all the way to the place, and the guy behind the counter was wearing a neck brace. And he had a T-bone strapped to his head. So I've done some dumb things on vacation. A couple years ago, I bought a timeshare. Ooh, anyone got one of these little investments? Huh? Is that why you're in fluorescent? Why did I buy that? It was a perfect storm, right? 3 bottles of champagne and good credit. Yeah, because that's what they do. They get you liquored up, right? Yeah, and then they do this math that Stephen Hawkins couldn't figure out. I know. It's a scam. It's a scam, right? Yeah, the guy next to me thought it was a scam, and he's a Scientologist. The next morning I had to go through one of those sessions just to figure it all out. So now I have 2 timeshares. Anyone want to go to Bismarck in January, let me know. Oh, I did something I did not like last summer. You guys probably like this because you're retired. Jury duty? Oh, come on, you at least have time for it, right? Jury duty. There's always one stupid juror, too. What a good idea we have, right? Jury duty, someone commits a crime, 12 of their peers get punished, right? Because there's always one stupid juror on there, right? It's going to hang up the whole jury, right? Mine was a landlord-tenant case, and the judge said, I need to know which of you owns and which of you rents. I'm not making this up. The guy next to me shoots his hand up in the air and blurts out, I'm refinancing. I bust out laughing. The judge is trying to stifle a laugh. I'm thinking, I'm too smart. They're never going to keep me on this jury. I'm too smart. Just as I'm about to get sprung, the judge found out I owned a timeshare. I got jury duty. I don't know. Traveling is certainly different these days. I used to drive like 50,000 miles a year, unless you're my car insurance agent, then it's 7. Nobody from State Farm, right? You can't fly anymore. They probably strip search at security, right? Now I got to shave my legs to get on an airplane. Well, I'm used to a lot of long car trips. I grew up kind of a large family, 4 kids, so we would do all those cheap driving vacations, right? One summer, Dad decided our family was going to drive cross-country to California. 6 of us, 1 Buick, 2 months. I know, I'm pretty sure Lizzie Borden's family took a trip like this. Lizzie was just the first one to reach the tool shed when they got home. Thank you, you know who Lizzie Borden is, right? Took an axe, there, yeah. I'm not making this up, I did the joke in front of an 18-year-old TV executive. He looks at me, he goes, well, Jan, you're a lot older than me. I don't know who that is. It must be an age thing. Like, I was not like when she was either. It's a history thing. I was 1878. I was born until 1888. That is a true story. That's why I did not get on the Tonight Show. You cannot be a smart aleck to that guy, right? So we drive from D.C. to California. Windows rolled up, Dad was smoking 4 packs a day. His kids were in the backseat sucking on the inflatable toys for oxygen. We got out of the car in L.A. Our first stop, clean air. We're the only kids that wear the nicotine patch to come down from summer vacation. If it wasn't for nicotine stains, we wouldn't have had a tan. 4,000 miles into the trip, Dad realizes he's smoking us out, so he puts up the Pine air freshener. Yeah, great, now our car smells like a forest fire. So you're in a car with people 15 hours a day, you start making up all those little car games, right? My favorite is, I'm not touching you. And if I take your hand and put it like this, little participation thing here tonight. I can see you. Come on, turn to your neighbor and put it right up in their eye. Just repeat, I'm not touching you.
I can put my hand anywhere in this car. Freak air. Freak air. We've been with each other for 8,000 miles. Then we hit a bump and poked Dad's eye out. And thanks a lot, you guys. Thanks for coming out. That's the first of the Baby Boomer Comedy Show. I appreciate you guys coming out this afternoon. And this is why I told you to introduce again my partner in the show. Maybe you've heard him on NPR's Movies Off Now. He's also the winner of the Branson Comedy Festival. Please keep it going for Kent Rader.
Hey, keep it going for Jan McGinnis. Give it up for her, guys. Don't you hate it when telemarketers job? And some things I don't teach in marketing classes. The thing I hate most, they always interrupt my favorite show, which is The Family Feud. Oh, right, I'm the only one watching The Feud. I love The Feud because every family on there is required to have one idiot. Right, to give the most ironic answer to the question, someone asked the lady one time, what month do women start showing when they're pregnant? And the lady said September. Now there's a child who was left behind. My wife thought as a teacher she wrote that line. Right? And I know it's going to make me sound like an old man, but kids don't know how easy they have it in school today. With all the soft punishments like timeout, and the buddy room, and the safe seat. When I was in school, every teacher had a paddle hanging from the front blackboard. Right? Yeah, and for those of you who don't remember or too young to know, a paddle was basically a 1x6 that it had a handle whittled onto it. A lot of the teachers drilled holes in them so there'd be less drag on the downswing. And some of the teachers wrote sarcastic names on them. My favorite being Miss Deers, which said, Board of Education. Right? And they weren't afraid to battle kids when I was in school. Miss Baker spanked so many kids, her arms looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Safe seat, please. When I was in trouble in school, the safe seat was the one furthest away from my mom. Because time out to her meant the amount of time she knocked you out. My mom was tough, man. I got a D in reading in the 4th grade. Right? And it's always kind of baffled me, but it dawned on me a couple months ago that the first quarter of the 4th grade for me was the fall of 1968. And everybody here knows that in the fall of 68, my St. Louis Cardinals lost the World Series. Right, so I was too depressed to read. Yeah? Handed that report card to my mom, she looked at me, she goes, listen boy, I raise ugly kids, not stupid ones. Well, now that'll build your self-esteem up right there. I got just 2 C's in my entire life, both of them in biology. So I'm thinking, since I'm good at this, I've become a... But I always loved making people laugh, so I became an accountant. That was a mistake. Trust me, people want a funny accountant only slightly more than they want a funny proctologist. I actually considered becoming a proctologist just to prove to my grandpa that I do know the difference between my butt and the hole in the ground. That boy don't know the difference between the butt and the hole. And he always sounded like Foghorn Leghorn. Well, listen, boy, I'm trying to help you. And it was always stupid advice like, never play pool with anybody named after a city or a state. Okay. Lots of stupid people in America. Fortunately, many of them are able to find jobs in Congress and our state legislature. say that 9% of Americans think Congress is doing a good job. Seriously? That's 27 million people in our country that think bickering, gridlock, and acting like preschoolers are signs of quality work. I believe this proves our country's meth problem is worse than we thought. And I don't know about here in Missouri, but down home in Oklahoma, instead of going after meth dealers, the state legislature passed laws that make every law-abiding citizen feel like a criminal when you go buy your sinus pills. You don't have this? We have to show your driver's license. You have to sign a form promising you won't use to make meth. But you know drug dealers, they'll kill each other, they'll prostitute themselves. They would never lie to Tiffany at Walgreens. Right? And they limit how much you can buy. So during ragweed season, the only people who can breathe are on meth. Well, I have a better solution. Sell sinus pills to anybody with more than 3 teeth. I have to rag about my pills, plus it'll promote good oral hygiene. But I was at Walgreens right before I left home, and Tiffany goes, sign this, promising you won't cook. Cook? I go, gladly, I'd do anything to get out of cooking. I go, you will call my wife, won't you? Because she's expecting me to fix supper. Tiffany goes, are you high? I go, well, not yet, I'm not. That was a mistake. Because Tiffany has the right to refuse service and she will use it. So earlier today, I was on the streets of Florissant trying to score some Claritin. But you know, I'm kind of a boring guy. I'll have a beer after a show, unless it's on a Sunday night in Moultrie, Georgia. Then I'll be drinking Coca-Cola. Did a Sunday night show in Moultrie. Driving back to the hotel, I stopped at the convenience store to buy a beer, and the clerk goes, oh, I can't sell you beer on Sunday. Said, now if you want to drive up the road a piece to Tifton, you can buy a beer up there. And I said, no, I'm way too lazy for that. Standing next to me is a policeman. He goes, yeah, we don't drink alcohol in Moultrie, Georgia on a Sunday night. I go, I bet you do, you just have sense enough to buy it on Saturday. Another mistake. He goes, boy, where are you from? When I told him Oklahoma, he goes, well, that'd explain it. Explain what? He said that smart Yankee mouth of yours. Only in South Georgia can an Oklahoman be considered a Yankee. I thought about explaining to the guy, we weren't even part of the Union when y'all had your little squabble with the North. But I thought probably a history lesson was too much. He goes, you down here on vacation? I said, if I was down here on vacation, I'd be staying up in Tifton where I could get a cold one on Sunday night. They're about to hang your governor. Well, a rope metaphor was probably in bad taste. As best I understand, he took pictures of his naked hairdresser that he had tied up and blindfolded. I've had some bad haircuts. I just don't tip her. And of course he came out and said it's fake news, which is I guess what you say when you get caught doing something, right? And the cool thing was earlier this week, his lawyers said the woman dreamed the entire thing. Right? Like that whole season of Dallas where Bobby was dead. We travel a lot. My wife's a teacher and she travels with me during the summertime, and And because she's on the no-fly list, but we end up driving. I don't mind driving, except she drags me to all these stupid roadside attractions. Right? Like the Corn Palace in South Dakota, the Grotto in Iowa. Hey, Kent, there's Elvis's house. Let's stop. Why? He's not there. But you ever live till you wake up in a hotel room like I did this morning, not knowing where you are or why you're there. And pretty much one hotel room looks the same as the last. With the exception of the Shiloh Inn in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which have signs in the room saying, "Do not clean deer in shower." I don't hunt, but I can see the advantages of having a shower to clean a large dead animal. You can hang the carcass by the shower head. You got running water to wash whatever down the drain. But it makes one wonder, how many deer got clean before the manager said, "Make me up a mess of signs that say do not clean deer and shower." That'll stop it. I'm skeptical. Because I have 6 cousins who hunt, 2 of them who can't read. They're going to see those signs and go, "Hey, Charlie, what's that thing say?" "Well, how in the world would I know? Go get the bungee cords." And the 4 cousins that I have that hunt and read, I just know they're going to look at it and go, "It says deer. Don't say nothing about this moose." Every night when I lay my head on my pillow, I say a prayer. Thank you, Lord, for granting me the patience today to not kill anybody who begins a sentence with, "so like." So like our special tonight is like an awesome salmon with like a baked potato, all for like $15.99. Son, that sentence shouldn't have 1 like in it, let alone 4. Let me properly demonstrate how to use like. I'd like to kill you. See the difference? So like, I was at the grocery store a couple months ago playing checkout roulette. You know that game of chance where you guess which clerk is old enough to scan your beer without calling over the manager? I bet everything on Chad come up a big loser. Because when Chad gets to my beer, he calls over the manager. Now we are presented with that awkward silence between a young man who believes an old man has nothing interesting to say and an old man who knows a young man has nothing interesting to say. And I'm okay with that silence. But apparently Chad isn't. Because he goes, "So like, what are you doing tonight?" I go, "I don't know. What'd you have in mind?" Obviously, I'll have to buy the beer. That's funny, right? Nothing. Chad just looks like he's coming from a funeral. So it's got to become my passion in life to make this kid laugh. I walk in one night and he's wearing one of those orthopedic boots. And when I ask him what happened, he goes, "Oh, I broke my foot dancing with my girlfriend." I go, "Well, how big of a gal is she?" I mean, even Twyla thought that was funny. Well, Twyla and I are cleaning out our basement one night, and she sends me to the store for bleach. I get to Chad's line with 4 gallons of bleach, a box of trash bags, 2 brats, and a 6-pack of beer. I throw them all down and go, "After tonight, she's never going to tell me what I can't eat."
to bury a body? He goes, so like, is this like how big of a gal is she? I'm afraid so. But on Tuesday night, Twyla and I were in Chad's line, and he looks at Twyla and he goes, so like, are you his girlfriend? Twyla goes, girlfriend? No, I'm his wife. What are you talking about, girlfriend? He goes, oh, we thought he killed his wife. Well played, Chad. Well played. We were at a party recently, and someone asked me why Twyla was 36 years old when she finished her degree and started teaching. And I said because back in 1976, Twyla dropped out of college to be a roadie for Alice Cooper. All night people were asking her questions like, Twyla, did you ever see Alice kill a chicken? Driving home, Twyla goes, you know, Kent, not every thought you have needs articulating. But we just been to an Alice Cooper concert for my birthday, and it was wonderful because everybody there, including Alice, was my age and older. 50s, 60s, 70s, and many of the people in the audience had taken the mantra of peace, love, and rock and roll to heart. Now let me say this, rock and roll is beginning to take its toll. Because at least half the audience is in a wheelchair, or using a walker. There are people pulling portable oxygen tanks. There are folks there with garbage for voice boxes going, school's out for summer. And there are people smoking pot, but all of them have prescription because of glaucoma or chemotherapy. And I just thought, I'm an old man, you know? And I got to tell you guys, Twyla will never leave me for a younger man because all of her humor is based in the 1960s. Bless her heart, she forgets everything. She forgets meetings for school, she forgets where she's parked her car, and it's because her brain is saturated with theme songs from the 1960s. Addams Family, Petticoat Junction, Bugs Bunny, she can sing them like that. I swear, she has Alzheimer's, she'll forget me and the kids, but she'll still remember come and listen to a story about a man named Jack. Right before Halloween, we're in Walmart, and they had a Spider-Man costume on the wall. I said, Twyla, do you remember the Spider-Man song? Without missing a beat, she goes, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Weaves a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look at him. Here comes Spider-Man. Totally worth getting kicked out of Walmart. But every Valentine's Day, Twyla will ask me, she'll say, when's our anniversary? And every year I tell her it's March 1st. And this year I said, Twyla, do you have any idea how long we've been married? She goes, oh, that's easy. We've been married forever. We just celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary. And, you know, I'm lucky she married me. I'm lucky she married me. Nobody tried to talk me out of marrying her because I married way over my head. But what hurt was my grandma Round tried to talk Twyla out of marrying me. She did when her grandma's daughter were getting married. She took Twyla in the kitchen. She goes, baby, don't you think you can do better than him? Twyla goes, but Grandma, I love him. She goes, listen, I love him too, but he ain't right. Twyla goes, but Grandma, he makes me laugh. She goes, no, listen, Twyla, you can buy a television for entertainment. So you'll get tired of the boy and it'll cost you some money to get rid of him. But she has gotten tired of me a couple of times. In fact, she'd have killed me in 1992 at the Motel 6 in Muskogee, Oklahoma, had Tom Bodett not left the light on. Young people are like, who's Tom Bodett? We're getting old, you know. When we were first together, we said stupid stuff to each other like, I want to grow old with you. Having no idea what that entails. A Because together we have survived mammographies, colonoscopies, biopsies. I may try to suffer through every running injury I've had in the past 30 years, but she's getting back at me now at least a dozen times a day without any sort of warning. She strips all of her clothes off because of a hot flash. Which is how she got on the no-fly list. I am not minding menopause one bit. Because the first time in the 35 years I've known this woman, she hasn't been cold. A few summers ago, I had to do back-to-back shows in Biloxi, Mississippi, New Orleans, Galveston, Texas. July in Biloxi, New Orleans, Galveston. I opened each show with, hey, why don't we have this in hell next year? It'd be cooler. I'm in Galveston on the third day of having swept her up in places it shouldn't. Try to looks at me and she goes, do you have a jacket? I'm cold. What are you, a lizard? But men, we change too. Don't anybody tell you we don't. I read recently, after the age of 50, men produce significantly less testosterone, which would explain why, for the first time since puberty, I'm thinking clearly. Well, I can tell you, for 40 years I've just done in a box of dirt. A number of years ago, my grandma's birthday fell the same week that they convicted Martha Stewart. Right, so when I asked her what she wanted to do for her birthday, she wanted me to take her to the Kmart because she just knew all the Martha Stewart stuff would be on sale. Now, I hate taking Grandma to the Kmart because, first of all, she walks faster than any human being on the planet. Plus, she's getting smaller all the time. So I lose her like a kid. Right? So I may try to go with me. Now, in walks this attractive, rather well-developed young woman wearing this tight, low-cut blue sweater. And trying to catches me staring at her one or two dozen times, maybe. Finally, Father goes, kid, do you know that woman? And I'm like, what blue sweater? In front of everybody at Kmart, Grandma goes, weaning that boy was a waste of time. Low testosterone has caused hair loss. I'm lethargic. My family worries that I'm apathetic, but I just don't care. And one thing I couldn't care less about are tools. I'm not the typical guy. I don't like tools or home, right? And it's because when I was in high school, I didn't take shop class. See? We did a show in Lubbock last week, and some guy in the front row goes, you know, that's not funny. Because when we were in high school, shop was a disaster waiting to happen. You had a bunch of 15-year-old boys all distracted by thoughts of girls using a table saw. Now, instead, I took typing. In spite of all the teasing I got from my friends, really, kid, you're taking typing? What do you want to be, a secretary? No, Chuck, my nine-fingered friend. I don't. But while you're in shop class with 29 guys talking about girls, I'm in typing with 29 girls. Right, so consequently, it won't come as a surprise to figure out I am completely ignorant when it comes to home repair. I don't know how to fix anything around the house. I don't want to know how to fix anything around the house. Plus, I have no need to fix anything around the house because Twyla can fix everything. Plumbing, carpentry work. Last summer, she rewired our daughter Maggie's entire house. I mean, she's like Bob Vila without a beard. But when Twyla does a project, my responsibilities are to cook, stop asking stupid questions, and to go to the hardware store to buy supplies. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but the guys who work at the hardware store treat every man walking in there like he knows what he's talking about, and every woman walking in there like she doesn't. And nothing puts Twyla in a bad mood more quickly than some man being condescending to her about tools, so she sends me. The problem is I have no idea what I'm talking about. She needs a new socket wrench. The kid who's helping me goes, what are you working on? And I go, some sockets. in a store for staples for her staple gun. I've got this number. There are 40,000 staples down at Lowe's. Not one of them number M5613. So I bought a new staple gun that had staples in it. Said I'm ignorant, not stupid. But I could do without trying to sarcasm. When I handed her that second staple gun, she goes, I'm glad you're not a punk ass. I'd hate to have to buy a new car every 400 miles. She says she's been escorted by lumber. The entire drive down there, I'm rehearsing. I need 5 number 1 2x4s. Walk in, find the lumber guy, and go, hey son, I need 5 number 1 2x4s, 8 feet long. Perfect. He goes, oak or pine? Thinking, come on, Kent, you watch those remodeling shows, you ought to be able to do this. So I go, well, we're working up there in the attic, what would you suggest? He goes, well, it depends, are you working on the joist? Oh. Hold on here a second, I'm going to call my contractor. Honey? Yeah, you want oak or pine? Because I remember always asking. Pine? Oh, hey, when the buzzer goes off, take the meatloaf out of the oven. I mean, we're going to take time. Kid goes, you called your wife? And he goes, listen, man, don't feel bad. 2 months ago, some woman was in here exchanging a staple gun because her husband's too stupid. That makes me feel better, thanks. How many of y'all have children? By applause, who all has kids out there? They're awful, aren't they? Doesn't start out that way, though, does it? I remember the first time I held our baby, I was so overjoyed, I cried. Who knew it'd be my last happy moment on earth? Because I was completely unprepared to have kids. I thought my kids would be like my cats. Right? Cats go to the bathroom in a box, they bathe themselves, and they pretty much eat anything. I mean, even one of them hawks up a fur ball, another cleans it up. Ain't that nasty? Speaking of nasty, kids quickly redefine what you think is disgusting, don't they? One night when our son Keith was a baby, we put him to bed, and a couple minutes later we heard him go, bleh. For those of you children, you know nothing good comes from blood. We rushed in, he had thrown up all over everything. Trotty grabs him, she goes, listen, I'll take care of him, you clean up the crib. Tara, I can't. She goes, good heavens, Kent, you're his father. Yeah, prove it. Talk about a mistake. That quickly turned into a scene from a Jerry Springer show. But you know, Tara, she tapped into her motherly instinct. She went gave him a warm bath, she put on clean jammies, she even rocked him to sleep. And I tapped into my fatherly instinct, I went, things Donna does around our house. This baby she made wasn't finished when she brought him home from the hospital. I mean, the kid was completely helpless, and his only means of communication was to cry. So 50 times a day, day and night, I reduced to plain 20 questions to figure out what's wrong with this thing. Are you wet? Are you hungry? Are you constipated? Are you reading your genome deal? Why are you crying? I remember after 48 hours of no sleep and our daughter Maggie was teething, I thought, it's got to get better. Don't ever think that. Because God will go, oh yeah, watch this. And it just gets worse. They start walking. Now you have a child who has no concept of danger, plus he's mobile. The way it gets worse, they start going to school. Now they bring home every disease known to medicine. Flu, colds, pink eye, lice, rickets. But wait, it gets worse. They go through puberty. Boy, you thought they were stupid before. Now they are down in the box of dirt. The only way you know they haven't heard is when they roll their eyes and go, whatever. Yeah, how about whatever, your head right off your shoulders. But wait, it gets worse. They start driving. Now you've got a child who's done in a box dirt on a 2,000-pound machine and go 120 miles an hour. What could go wrong? But wait, it gets worse. They go to college. And if you thought worrying about it when they lived in your house was bad, wait till they're 500 miles away from home. But wait, it gets worse. They graduate from college at just about the time you guys used to never see them and they move back in your house. Luckily for you, you never have to see them because you're too busy working 2 jobs to pay off their music therapy degree. Too many of you know what I'm talking about. There are people in our country that want to limit our access to birth control. I think we ought to put it in the drinking water. But wait, it gets better. Grandchildren. Did y'all have grandchildren? Yes. Grandchildren are your reward for not having killed this child. And I'm not ashamed to admit I'm finding entirely too much pleasure in the trouble our son Keith is having with his baby. Because watching Keith change a poo diaper is like watching a cat hock up a fur ball. It's always, oh no. When he was about 6 months old, he had a diaper that Keith appropriately described as a 2-pounder. It was awful, right? And he just started him on baby food and he wasn't adjusting. You know something else I've noticed? Gerber squash pretty much looks the same coming out as it did going in. And the baby hated this stuff, so I suggested let's just spoon it directly into the diaper. Cut out the middleman, but they got him potty trained. Keith was so excited when they got him potty trained. He called everybody, put it on Facebook. Next time the baby's at our house, I hear those 4 words emanating from the bathroom that we all dread. Can you wipe me? This is not potty trained. This is like teaching a pilot how to fly but not how to land. Right? And when I walked into the bathroom, he's already assumed the position. Right? Like he's dropped a quarter on the floor. And I'm looking at him thinking, boy, his little hamstrings are going to get tired waiting on Tyler to come home. Because that was when Tyler volunteered us to watch him for a week. I go, Tyler, we are not capable of watching a 3-year-old for a week. She goes, what are you talking about? We raised 2 kids. I go, I know, we were half our age. Now, if you ever get the idea you want to watch a baby, do this simple mathematical calculation. Divide your age by the age of the child. That's how much sleep you're going to need at night. Right? That's why 25-year-old people can have 3-year-old children and still function in society. 25 divided by 3 is 8 hours sleep. Tyler and I are in our 50s. 50 divided by 3 is 17. We're needing 17 hours sleep at night. My mom was 84, watched them on Wednesday. She didn't wake up till Friday. We always keep water in the bathtub because he likes to go and sit on the floor and play with his boats in the water. Right? The day Mom watched him, when I came home, she goes, now listen, when he went in there to play with his boats, I drained the water each time and put fresh warm water in so his little fingers wouldn't get cold. Hard to believe this is the same woman that made me bathe in my brother Michael's dirty bathwater. And when I complain about it, she go, oh, get in, it's not that dirty. It looks like the Gulf of Mexico. There's an oil slick dead fish. He goes to play Spider-Man when he's at our house, and we always had to play with him. We always had to be the bad guy. We had to be Venom or Sandman. Last summer, trying to get some bright ideas, she'll tape him to the refrigerator. So he can bust out like he's Spider-Man. Yeah. One day, here and there at Chick-fil-A, and he goes, "Hey, Papa Kent, when we get home, you going to take me to the refrigerator?" So I'm talking to the lady from DHS. I mean, the boy needs to develop a filter. That's his problem. The other night, Keith picked him up after work, and when he asked Kai, he said, "Have you had supper?" Kai goes, "Yeah, Papa Kent and I had pizza and ice cream because neither one of our moms were here." I mean, the boy, all he's ever going to know is technology, and he constantly wants the latest technology. I can't fathom standing in line outside the Apple store to trade in a perfectly good phone for the new iPhone. He goes, "But Papa Kent, it's waterproof. That way, it'll still work if you drop it in the toilet." Regardless if it works. If I drop my phone in the toilet, it's staying in the toilet. I got a new phone in January because I dropped my old one in the toilet. And this thing's just kind of creepy. It seems to be monitoring what I do all day. After a month, when I'd wake up, every morning it would say your commute to work is 7 minutes today, which is weird because I don't have a job. And then I realized that the directions are to our local McDonald's. You're eating way too many Egg McMuffins if your phone thinks you work at McDonald's. And it's got an app for this and an app for that. And I'll tell you, the app I could use is one that doesn't autocorrect profanity that I type into text messages. Because as perceptive as this phone is, you would think it would realize if I'm swearing, I'm angry. And change it to text message to read horse shit. This is going to make me happy. And so I just deleted all the profanity from my phone's dictionary because Kai can read now. "Hey, Papa Kent, what's horse shit?" It's a ship for horses. And he goes, "And they don't let me cross the street alone." But, he plays games on my phone. And every time he's with us, all you ever see is this, The other day he goes, "Hey, Papa Kent, when you were a kid, what games did your grandpa's phone have on it?" My grandpa's phone didn't have games. "Oh, it was a flip phone?" "No, it was a wall phone." "What's a wall phone?" "It was connected to the wall with a wire." "Oh, it had a bad battery?" "No, it didn't have a battery, it didn't have games, you couldn't text with it, you couldn't get on the internet. All you could do is make calls with it." That's horseshit. When my grandmother got Maggie's graduation announcement from college, she called her on the phone. She said, "Oh, baby," said, "we're so proud of you." I said, "But what's this magna cum laude on your announcement?" Maggie said, "Well, it's an honor. It's based on your grade point average. There's summa cum laude, magna cum laude, cum laude." Grandma goes, "I don't even think your daddy was laude." But Maggie graduated with a theater degree. Don't you know her family's blame me? Really, whenever she got the desire to be on the stage. And like she wants to be in movies or television, she wants to be a Shakespearean actress. So her entire career should be reciting lines like, "The heaven forbid, but that our loves and comforts should increase, even as our days do grow. Or is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pain, let me remember thee, what thou hast promised. Or would thou like us to hot apple pie with that? All right, Shakespeare didn't want that last line. But I tease Maggie, but she's never been unemployed a single day in the 8 years since she graduated. She's a performer at both the Cincinnati and the Kentucky Shakespeare companies, and I'm proud of her because she works hard, she's smart. She married Mr. Wright, her husband Justin's perfect for her, you know. She and Justin both have a great sense of humor. I was doing an NPR interview in Cincinnati on Cincinnati radio, and Maggie and Justin were listening to me, and the guy goes, "What is the hardest part about going from accounting to comedy?" And Maggie yells at the radio, "Feeding his children!" And we were having breakfast afterwards, and Justin told me what she said, and I go, "Doesn't look like she missed any meals." "Oh, sure, I know it's a mistake now." But you know, they both laughed when I said it. And then Maggie thought it'd be hilarious to call my mom and tattle on me. And of course, she's an actress, so she can cry on cue. And then he said it doesn't look like she missed any meals, so he thinks I'm fat. She hangs up her phone, my phone starts ringing. "Boy, have you lost what little brains you was born with?" Said, "You never make a joke about a woman's weight, regardless of how thin she is." She said, "You're lucky I gotta go to the church meeting, or I'd come down to your house and give you a woofer." I go, "Mom," Maggie and Justin laugh, "All right, that does it. I'm skipping church. You just stay right where you're at, because I'm going to straighten you out once and for all." I said, "Mom, I'm in Cincinnati." That's Maggie and Justin laughing in the background. She goes, "Oh." Well, tell them I said, "Hey." And I'll see you when you get home. She's funny, she's hardworking. She grew up to be a Cardinal fan just like me. And Justin may be the biggest Cardinal fan on the planet. I'm proud of Maggie. But even when your kids screw up, you still love them. And our son Keith has pretty much ruined his life. It's a little hard for me to talk about. When Keith graduated from college, he went to work for the rival Kansas City Royals. I asked Troy, I said, what did we do wrong? Where did we go wrong? Oh, excuse me. 2015 World Champion, Kansas City Royals. Yeah. I gotta tell you guys, I've gotten to know you a little better over the last 45 minutes. I feel I can share this with you. Kiefer's always been my favorite child. World Series tickets or Romeo and Juliet? You do the math. Toddler, over the last 5 years, or the last 5 seasons, I guess, Toddler and I have become huge Kansas City Royals fans. But the first time I put a Kansas City Royals t-shirt on, I felt so dirty. And I took a picture of myself and I sent it to Maggie and Justin. I said, you know, I feel like a traitor. Maggie texted back and said, if it makes you feel any better, you look like crap. Yeah, so anyway. Hardest part. Are you the 94? Okay, thank you for coming tonight. Is this your son or? Oh. Oh, he is too. Okay. What'd you do to your arm? Pickleball. Tickleball? Tickleball? Pickleball? Smoke some pot around this place, don't you? Go get the pickles. dumb question, you get a dumb answer. But as Mom will tell you, you have to respect your children as they grow up, yet you'll always be their parent. And my hardest day as a parent was the day that I discovered that Maggie has a subscription to Cosmo magazine. Any of y'all read Cosmo? There are 7 million copies sold every month. Maggie's the only one reading. A bunch of liars here. If you do read Cosmo, stop it, because you're embarrassing your dads. I called Todd on the phone and I said, listen, your daughter has no business reading an article titled Double His Pleasure in Bed. But when you get home, you might want to take a game with it. She hangs up on me. 10 minutes later, my grandma calls and goes, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And she was so mad at me. I mean, she was mad. The next time I visited her, she made me go to church to repent. I go, Grandma, I went to church last time I was here. She goes, they ain't like a tetanus shot. But she introduced me to Reverend Hightower by going, Reverend Hightower, this is my grandson, Kent, you know, the one we've been praying for. When our kids were young, God was a stay-at-home mom. One night I came home from work, she met me at the back door, and she goes, unless you want this house to be emergency until morning, you keep those kids away from me tonight. I did have the good sense not to ask what's for supper. This is pretty obvious I'm going to have to cook supper. So when the kids got dressed to go to Pizza Hut, some of you cook. Maggie, who is 3, is wearing her Easter dress, which is a light blue dress with white laces she called the Purple Days. Nobody knows why. Keith, who's 5, is wearing Superman pajamas with cowboy boots and a pair of Superman underwear on the outside, turned backwards. Well, I'm thinking, they look okay. Now, when we order pizza, first thing Maggie says is, Daddy, I've got a potty. I hate taking 2 toddlers to a public bathroom, because first of all, you have to hold your daughter over the toilet so she doesn't catch anything. Every lady here knows about hovering. Don't act like you don't. And with little girls, you gotta angle them just right so they don't pee on your shoes. At the same time, you have to watch the boy, making sure he isn't touching stuff, getting his hands germy. When Maggie hikes up the Purple Daz, I notice she's not wearing underpants. Something else she's outgrown now that she's out of college. So I'm thinking if somebody sees this, they're going to think I'm a pervert. So I turned to the boy. I said, give me those Superman underwear. He goes, but Dad, they contain my superpowers. Really? Well, so do mine, but mine are too big for her. When waitress brings us our pizza, Maggie goes, you know, I'm wearing my brother's Superman panties. Because Daddy's panties are too big for him. So did you know Daddy's panties contain his superpower? So I'm talking to the lady from DHS. Well, that is my time. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. If you would, please welcome back to the stage my partner, Jan McGinnis. Give it up for her, guys. Lights up for a second. How we like to end the show is that we like to see if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask of us about what we do or why we do it or
Age, weight, whatever.
Yeah. What pickleball is. Excuse me?
Superpowers are in there.
unbreakable, okay? You got a question you'd like to ask?
You guys are fun, though, yeah?
Yeah, here.
So you live in California and he lives in Oklahoma?
I live in Kansas City now, so, yeah, I'm originally from,
I grew up in Virginia, but California for about 15 years.
So whenever you all travel, you just have to make your arrangements to get together.
yeah.
Yeah, we both tour separately, and then we just come together a couple times a month for the show. So, yeah.
Jan, I gotta tell you, she said she likes the national parks. Last time we were through St. Louis, I was out running one morning and I came back and she goes, I said, the Arch is a national park, you ought to go down there. And so she got me a little capsule thing, and she couldn't do it.
I got all the way there, that's small.
Yeah, so she hasn't done it, so she really hasn't, she can't mark that one off her list.
I tried, man, I could not get in it. It was claustrophobic. And these little teenagers are in there, come on, what do you mean you waited in line without getting in here? I'm like, I'm not. I stepped on the ground, I did this national park, let's go. Check off the list.
Tyler's gonna retire next year, and I can't wait for her to retire because Jan's always trying to drag me to stupid stuff like that too. She wanted to go for a hike in a national park outside International Falls, Minnesota, 8 o'clock the day after a show in February. Nothing about that sounds fun, does it?
When am I gonna be up there again?
She goes, and I wasn't gonna go, and I told Tyler I'm not going. She goes, Kent, you gotta go. If she gets hurt, she could die. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work to have to do the whole show myself, so.
We went, we did 30 minutes.
Yeah, we did do 30 minutes. Anybody else she didn't have a jacket though. Anybody else have a question? Yeah, up here.
How did you guys get together?
How do we meet? Match.com. Worst date ever.
We have a mutual friend, Frank King, who knew we both knew what we wanted to do and introduced us, and so it's I think our 7th year of doing this. So.
Yeah, we both like doing the corporate stuff, but the stuff I mentioned, the weird things they do at those events really happens. So we were like, okay, we want to kind of do something that's away from the corporate arena, but I didn't want to go back into comedy clubs. I've been doing them when I started out a lot, and didn't want to go do them full time, so we thought, how about theaters? There were great audiences and great venues, and
Very common.
very good. Oh, thank you.
Have you ever done any televised work?
I've been on a couple of shows. Jan has done a lot of
Writing, but I
writing.
haven't
She's done a ton of
I
writing.
did a Canadian TV show 12 years ago. Yeah. Anyone? I've sold a lot of material for
She sold jokes for
Leno, guests on the Jerry Springer Show.
but your radio stuff.
Oh, my parents are proud of that. I used to write for radio for about 500 stations for about, I did 15 jokes a day, and I wrote them in about 2 hours. Topical jokes and news stories and stuff like that, so I used to sell a lot of material. Don't have time.
Anybody else have a question you guys have? Yeah.
How many shows a month do you do, or how often do you do shows?
We do maybe 25 of these a year, and then we probably both do 100 things a year, so quite a bit on our own. So.
This is it, really.
I just got to ask you a question. These two, are they grounded? Is that why they had to come to the show? Oh, they're yours?
They're twins, right? Well, it's my Bloody Mary in the back is kicking in.
So what y'all do when you have to come to the show? Stay out late? Did you play
I can't even with them great.
Did you play pickleball? You guys have a question you guys have? Hard to see that light, man. Feel like
No,
a deer.
you don't get to ask Seinfeld or
Yeah.
Leno these, you can ask us.
Well, we really appreciate you guys coming, and remember that Othello's coming for you Shakespeare fans,
And
and please support the community.
check out our website and our Facebook, babyboomercomedyshow.com.